Welcome to The Actor's Choice, where the actors and actresses have a chance to talk about themselves and their careers. Join us now for the next hour as we explore the marvelous industry of acting by actors and actresses from today's exciting show business world. And now, direct from Hollywood, here's your host, Ron Brewington.
Hi, everybody. I'm Ron Brewington, and welcome to The Actor's Choice. Roll it, Tony.
He was still here so he could know how much we all loved him. Yes.
Damn, Stevie, listen to all that love. I hate this new mop. I can't believe you threw.
Ladies and gentlemen, our first guest today is an actor and a producer. Now, she's worked in theater, television, and film. Notable TV credits include Superstore, The Office, The Comedians, and others. She made her Los Angeles theater debut, as I call it, debut, this summer in the world premiere production of the dark comedy called Clownfish. Theater of note. Is that note or note?
Note.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Jamila Webb. Jamila, greetings and welcome to The Actor's Choice.
Oh, thank you so much, Ron. I'm so excited to be here. Happy Monday, everyone. Happy Monday. Yes.
All right. We got a lot to talk about in a short period, so let's hit it and quit it. Where were you born at, madam?
I was born in University City, Missouri, which is right outside of St. Louis, Missouri. Yes, the good old Arch, which I still haven't been up in. So,
okay.
Yeah.
All right. Sounds good. Question: what made you want to get into acting?
I was mesmerized with actors, and it started in middle school. So my mom treated me to a season subscription at the St. Louis Black Repertory when I was in 6th grade. And so we went every Sunday, 6th grade, 7th grade, but it wasn't until 8th grade when it was a school trip to the Black Rep and I saw For Color Girls. And that's when I was like, oh, I saw someone like me. And I saw the women on the stage just performing these beautiful and heartfelt and gripping monologues. And I said to myself quietly, I want to do that. I want to do that. I want to do that. But I didn't tell anybody into college. So that is why I wanted to tell stories. Yes.
Gotcha. And thank you for your mother doing what she did. Mom brought you down and started everything. Moms are good for that.
Yes,
indeed.
yes.
Indeed. So far you've been doing well as an actor, would you say?
I'm doing it. That's what I say. I say, yes.
Okay. What are some of the roles that you look for?
I love comedy. I love to bring joy to people's, lives, to the television screen. So I like really fun, funny characters that lighten the mood, but still giving you some medicine, giving you some directness, maybe telling you what you need to hear, even if you don't want to hear it.
Okay. I see that you have one director position back in 2012. Are you ready to do more directing jobs?
I have kind of been directing a little bit with the community I've created, First 15, but I think I still like acting and maybe more producing than directing. You put on a lot of hats when you're directing. A lot of things you have to think about. So.
Okay. The year was 2016. You got your first IMDb credit, Law and Order Special Victims Unit. Played a college girl.
Yes. It's just 2006. Yes. My first credit. I was so excited. I grew up actually watching that show, and I remember calling my grandmother excited that I had booked it and that she could watch it. And that was my first credit. And I got to talk to, Elliot Stabler and serve him some papers. So, yeah.
What are the roles that you look for?
I really look for roles where, the woman is prominently, seen and not this maybe secondary or helpless character. So I really do like a strong women, independent women. So those are the roles I really look for, but also just something to just play with, something where, I think a lot of times also with Black women, there are these archetypes. So I would like to play for something that stretches that or goes beyond that. So I'm always looking for something, but still the underlining theme is fun, comedy, bring some joy to the audience.
Interesting, because you always got to do that audition.
Exactly, right? You don't want to spend time, I don't know, feeling beaten up while you're preparing for it, and then you put yourself on tape, and then you book it, and you got to experience that for however many seasons or however long the film shoot is. So, whew.
Let me play my violin as you're talking about an audition. You ain't gonna get away with that one.
Okay. Happy for auditions, but yeah, I say,
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
get the ones you want.
My goodness, you are a busy lady, Jamila. When you read your resume, your activities are really involved. Now, you mentioned this a moment ago. In fact, you created and you are the founder of First 15. Great idea. Tell us about that, please.
Yes. So First 15 is a monthly reading series for Black and Brown writers where I cast it. And so we have professional actors reading the first 15 pages of writers' scripts. And then we have guest writers give feedback. And these are working writers. And our very own resident writing consultant, Kimiano Coutinho, who is writing on P Valley, she gives feedback at every reading. And then we have a guest writer. So it's just a community to really encourage Black and Brown writers, BIPOC writers to feel confident in their skills, to make sure that their script is in really good condition. And we know that, Hollywood has a short attention span. So if those first 15 pages aren't really engaging, they're not going to keep reading. There's no need to keep going, right? So we want to make sure that the beginning is really enticing and clear and engaging. And it's been lovely. I started it in March of 2019. It has been just a thriving community. We meet monthly. And if anyone's interested, if like you have a script or you want to be an actor, you can submit on first15la.com. We're always looking for scripts. Yeah.
I was just going to ask, who do I contact? Because I am an actor in reality, and I want to get me a job.
Yes. Come on, Ron. Come on in. Right. You got to check us out. Yes, we are on hiatus right now. We had our last reading yesterday, but we will be back in February looking for love stories, any type of love scripts. And then we'll go all the way till June.
Got it. You know a guy named Ian Fox?
I don't. That's a great
I'll have to introduce you to him. He does a lot of different plays. I do a lot of narration for him. So that's
great.
Great. Looking for a narrator. Hey, Ron Brewington, Pro 6 News. I'll be right there for you.
Love it. So narration is actually one of, to me, the most important parts when we're doing the readings, because you are the person who really takes the audience on this ride, right? And are like the engine that moves the story. So narrators, very, very important.
Right.
We love to have
the name First 15 sounds interesting. How'd you get that name?
I'm a sucker for alliteration. I just wanted something really cute. And I was like, yes, I love the First 15. I also, when I was first thinking of having this reading series, I talked to some of my writer friends who I had read their scripts. I knew they had scripts, and I had asked them if they wanted to, have a reading. And they were like, no, I'm good. And I was like, hold on, I've read your scripts. Why not? And I found out that there is this fear of having strangers read your script and then having like maybe the idea get taken or anything of that nature. So someone was like, well, what if it's just one act? Or, and I was like, oh, okay. So how about we do the first 15? And it really was like an alliteration thing, because I've gone to readings where they read the first 10 pages. So I just, wanted to be jazzy, Ron. That's all. I wanted to be a little jazzy.
Got you. I'm sitting here looking at you, and people out there in the audience, they're looking at you. They want to know, who is that picture next to you?
Oh, well, that is the one and only Zora Neale Hurston. Okay. That is Zora Neale Hurston, writer, anthropologist, just amazing woman. One of the people who I just love and, appreciate her work. So.
Gotcha. When you're not working as an actress, how do you support yourself?
How do I support myself? I, You mean financially or mentally?
And both. We'll get both of them in there. Because one activates the other.
Exactly. I mentally, I make sure that I still stay connected to family and friends, and go, whether it's going on a hike, doing game night, just making sure that I am, I'm a big sports person, so I love going to the basketball games, or playing softball. And then sometimes financially, I will actually help out and help with tutoring. So tutoring is one of my side jobs, helping the children complete their homework or apply to college. Yes. Yes.
Okay. You ready for this one?
Uh-oh, I'm ready, Ron. Come on.
Tell us about how Issa Rae shouted at you at a Jamil Hills podcast.
Oh, yes. I was getting messages in my DMs. It was like maybe maybe in 2021, of like, hey, Issa shouted you out. Issa shouted you out. And I was like, where? I needed to know where. What was this coming from? And so I found out actually earlier this year, it was Jamil Hills' podcast. And, a while ago, Issa and a lot of us other artists, Christina Martin, James Bland, Britt Matt, Glenda Richardson, we all would get together and have these web series meetings. So actually Issa had shouted me out of like how when she was first doing Awkward Black Girl, we would meet because she was doing so well with it. So how then we would meet with her and just to try to just brainstorm, figure out ways how to make web series better, and how to how to help each other. So she was very helpful in the beginning of my career out here in LA.
Just thought I'd square that away. I don't like to get into too much doit, but that was doit. I didn't know something about that. You used to perform stand-up comedy in New York City, is that right?
Yes, I did. I did used to perform stand-up. Yes, it actually started. It was during one of the writer's strikes. It was something that I really, really wanted to do, but also was terrified of doing it. So I took a class and decided to, do stand-up. And at the time, there really weren't any auditions because, there's a writer's strike. So I dabbled in stand-up for a couple of years. Yes.
Okay. We got a guy named BD Freeman, who's going to be coming on later in the show. He's also a comedian. So we want to talk about being a comedian, good comedian, bad comedian.
Much respect for all comedians. Yeah. It is quite the lifestyle that I was not equipped for. Late nights. I like to get to bed a little earlier. So.
Okay. I'm not going to talk about Will Smith on this show. I'm moving straight ahead.
Let's move. Let's keep it going.
This year, you had 2 episodes of Family Reunion where you played Dr. Griffin and Reboot Security Guard. So you do get some work. Yeah.
Yes. It was a lot of fun. Family Reunion is their last season, so it was really great to work with Atia Mari and Loretta Devine and all the wonderful actors on that show. And then Reboot, new show on Hulu, just like crazy talented cast. So much fun. I just was thrilled to I love working on pilots because you just kind of like don't know how. Right. Yes. You get this originated character, you don't know how it's going to turn out. And it was just the show is just a big hit. And I wish Family Reunion would keep going, but this is the last season.
Before you get out of here, we got a video of you.
What is it from, Ron?
This is out of the reel.
Okay.
You ready?
Okay. All right. Here we go.
Roll it, Tony.
Witness alert. Crushed under a wall of boxes. Ton and a half.
It's gonna be okay, Tommy.
Can you hear me, sir? Sir? No one met us at the bay. This guy needs an EKG. 220 over 100. Chest pains, but no history of MI.
I hear that, sister.
What makes you think the lily white bitch can't hack it?
Whoa. Slow your roll, all right? Watch your mouth. She's not a bitch.
Oh, yeah, no, I'm the bitch who's gonna slap that weave off your head, bitch. Oh, yeah, this is real. Okay.
Oh, my goodness.
I was duking it out there.
You found like the first reel. I didn't know that was still on the interwebs.
Yes. I will say this, you do have 25 credits, and of those 25, 22 of them are TV series.
Yes. I've booked a lot of TV. That's mostly where I've been working. So, but I'm open to all. I love a film, love
Character
a
acting.
podcast. Yes,
Yes,
yes, yes,
yes,
yes.
yes. Oh, we're getting that. People don't understand it. Getting that work, keeping that job, um, it really has a lot to say. It really, really, really has a lot to say. Is there any other thought that you'd like to share with us before we get out of here?
I want to say this has been a pleasure. And to any actors out there, just keep going, keep creating, keep working, keep finding inspiration, and just be content that if you're giving your all, it will work out. Okay. It will work out.
Attitude, my dear. You've got a beautiful attitude. Thank
Thank
you.
you. Thank you so much. Have a good one.
My best. Jamila, thank you so much for stopping by the Actor's Choice today. I know our viewers had a chance to pick up some good information you put out there about the industry. A lot of folks, they sitting by, well, I want to be a star. Yeah, well, it takes work to be a star, okay?
Yes.
That's what we're here for, definitely. And please go back. Come back again. We'll have you back again. And by the way, thank our dear friend Phil Adrasi about introducing us to you.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you, Phil. And thank you, Ron.
Indeed, my pleasure.
Bye-bye.
Ladies and gentlemen, Jamila Webb. This is the Actor's Choice. I'm your host, Ron Brewington. Ladies and gentlemen, the 2022 Actor's Choice Christmas giveaway is now available. Roll it, Tony. Well, all right. The giveaway started last Sunday, December the 4th, and ends on Sunday, December the 18th. Now, there's a $75 gift card for first place and a $25 gift card for second place, okay? Now, there's a contest link. Here we go. As I call it, www.theactorschoicela.org. Christmas Giveaway 2022. Again, www.theactorschoicela.org. Christmas Giveaway 2020. And that's the way they're going to do it, okay? Now, if you get in contact with our website, all the information that you need to know, all the rules are there. Like you got to be 18 years old to enter. No purchases necessary. No subscriptions or cash alternatives for any prizes. And please remember, you can't win, ladies and gentlemen, if you don't enter. Okay? The clock is ticking. That's all I got to say. Good luck. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year's. Roll it, Tony.
Hijita, ven acá. Por favor. Los pollitos dicen pío, 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 cuando tienen hambre,
Ladies and gentlemen, our next guest today is an actress who has played theater roles ranging from Mistress Quickly in Shakespeare's Henry IV, parts 1 and 2, and Henry V to Lady Bracknell in The Importance of Being Earnest, just to name a few. And keep your ears and eyes open, ladies and gentlemen. She just did an event called Dream Breaches, a 10-part podcast that she produced during the pandemic. Now available on pinna.f-m. That's pinna.f-m. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Alessandra Assaf. Alessandra, bless you, and welcome to the Actor's Choice.
It's a thrill. Thank you for having me.
Is that pinna.fm?
Yes, it is. Pinna.fm.
Okay. And what are they going to get when they get to that location? What are they going to get?
A wonderful, magical, magical realism story. It's really for kids. And it's exciting because I think it forces young people to tap into their imaginations because it's all oral as opposed to visual.
Excellent. This is Christmas time. Hope you'll come up, ladies and gentlemen, and get a copy of that for your house. Okay?
Thank you.
Alessandra, back to you again. What made you get into acting, my dear?
It seemed to be something that I always did as a child. I would write little skits and stories and race to the Foursquare on the blacktop in the schoolyard and perform them for all the other kids in the schoolyard. It was just a natural way of playing as a child. And fortunately, I had a gaggle of girlfriends, and they all joined me in these crazy adventures. It was kind of like variety shows were really popular then. So it was Carol Burnett, Tony Orlando and Dawn, Donnie and Marie, kind of stuff that we would do out there in the schoolyard to entertain the other kids.
Okay. So let's go back a moment. Where were you born at?
I was born in New Orleans.
I see. New Orleans, as they call it?
Yes, some people call it New Orleans.
What do you call it?
Here it is. Well, I'm a bit unusual. I say New Orleans.
Okay. Nothing wrong with that.
Yes, I give it a few extra syllables.
Got you. Now, I understand in reading your resume that a hurricane came through, the flood of 2005 changed your life, didn't it?
It did. It was a huge detour. I am one of 9 children, and we lost 7 homes in the flood of New Orleans. That was in part due to the seawall coming down when Hurricane Katrina hit. And that led me to writing. So although the detour took me away from acting for a very long time, I started writing as a result. And that's brought me to the point where I am here now, having written something that I'm taking to the stage.
Excellent. To the stage. I love when you say that, because that's one of the bones that I have with a lot of actors and actresses. They'll do everything else, but they ain't going on that stage. That's one problem that I'll have with
that breaks my heart as well.
Yeah. Get on the stage. Shoot, you learn something. And there's no take two. It's right on.
No, there are no take twos.
No take two. Now, you've had acting roots in Dallas, Chicago, LA, New York, and London.
Yes. I think most actors will find that whether you want to or not, you kind of become a gypsy. And it's a wonderful adventure because it will take you all over the world.
Wow. Now, according to IMDb, your first IMDb film actress credit came in the year 2003 in a short drama called The Bully.
Oh, my goodness. Yes. Yes. That was quite thrilling. I learned a lot doing that because it was my first time venturing in front of the camera. And I learned I had to mumble a little bit better for the camera, that my theater training had me a little bit over the top.
Okay. All right. Nothing wrong with that. And then fast forward 10 years later, Gallagher's Hurricane, 2013.
Oh my goodness, that was such a wonderful labor of love. And I would love to see somebody really take that story and do something with it. It was about the early hurricane hunters during World War II. Okay. And it was so dangerous what they were doing, going into the eyes of hurricanes. This would be like The Right Stuff, except with meteorology as opposed to astronomy. It was... I love that man that put that together. So much passion in that project.
Excellent, excellent. My dear, we are here today to talk about 2 words, Ava Gardner.
Yes, isn't she something?
Yes.
Yes.
You got a show you're putting on right now about Ava Gardner. Could you tell us about it?
Yes, I am presenting Ava Gardner when she's here in Los Angeles shooting the movie Earthquake, and she receives an interesting proposition by phone, which she's in the throes of trying to make a decision about, and it could completely change her life. And in trying to make that decision, it forces her to look at herself in a way that I don't think she has in a long time. So she's at a crossroads.
All right. We just happen to have a clip of Ava Gardner. Roll it, Tony.
She's been a pretty wild cat.
Touch me and you won't live till morning.
My heart was gone when I saw her.
She was one of the world's most celebrated beauties.
She didn't think she was a sex symbol, but Frank thought so.
Men fell at her famously bare feet, but none brought Ava Gardner lasting happiness.
She was searching for that one person and always ended up with the wrong guy.
Wow. I couldn't
Wow.
help but do that, but I said, I got to bring something to the board. I said, this lady knows it. She plays it. What, okay, for lack of a better word, what got you and her together? What was that that started that? You and
I like to joke that, you know, she came knocking on my door.
Okay.
I was in a writing class and
They're coming to get me.
I found that there was a recurring theme that came up, and I was exploring the idea of physical magnificence, and that one's biology can be their destiny. It can dictate what their lives, what a life looks like. And my parents were great lovers of beauty. In fact, you didn't use the word beautiful to describe a person, according to my father, unless you were talking about Ava Gardner. So somewhere along the way, she crept into my musings on paper, and it became a story about her.
Okay. Tell us more about that first attempt that you made to get a play together in her honor.
My first attempt actually was a cabaret show. Ava Gardner never dreamed of being an actress. She would have loved to have been a singer, but she grew up poor in North Carolina, and there was no money for singing lessons or anything like that. So I decided in this afterlife incarnation of Ava Gardner that I would let her sing. So I created this cabaret show. There are a lot of similarities to the play.
Mm-hmm.
The setting is the same as the cabaret show. The inciting incident is the same as the cabaret show. But I started working with a very clever, creative writer by the name of Michael Laurie. And he said, you know, I really think that this could be a really exciting play, which means the dramatic arc was going to have to be a lot more dramatic, as opposed to just break the fourth wall, tell funny, glib stories to the audience, sing a little song, and keep them entertained. I like to think that this incarnation of Ava's story will move people and introduce an audience that may not know her to a woman of great depth and passion.
The incarnation that you're talking about is 12 O'Clock Tales with Ava Gardner.
12 O'Clock Tales with Ava Gardner, directed by the remarkable, amazing Michael A. Shepard. This too has been a very exciting collaboration. Mm-hmm. And we're going to be opening in about a month.
In about a month. Okay. Yes. Did you mention Michael A. Shepard? I thought I heard you.
Michael A. Shepard, yes.
Well, he was on this show about a month ago.
Oh, wow.
He's quite an actor. Oh, there he is. Thanks, Tom. There he is. Yeah. And those eyes. I remember when I worked with him, he said, those eyes. Yes. What a guy. What a guy. Wow. I would have to ask the question, have you ever met Ava Gardner?
I have not. I wish I could have, and I'm always eager to seek out people who may have met her that can give me a little insight to her. But so far, those efforts haven't come to fruition. Well, that's not really true. Many years ago, I met a hairdresser who did the hair for all of the beauty queens. And he said that Ava Gardner was the only one who was perfect from head to toe. So.
Alessandra, you do have a way with words. You do have a way with words. 24th of December. Something's coming up for her.
Yes. If Ava had lived, she would have been 100 years old on December 24th. So this is a great year to be celebrating her with this show, because it is her centennial year. And she always got 2 cakes on her birthday, a pineapple cake and a chocolate cake. One for Christmas Eve and the other for her birthday.
Oh, I see. You do your research. Marvelous. I do the same thing. Do your research. You learn.
I see that, Mr. Brewington.
I understand that the original show got canceled.
It did. COVID, the cabaret show was canceled because of COVID. And then last year, we were going to do the play, and it got canceled because of Omicron or Delta. And so now Michael A. Shepherd has come on board to shepherd it to the stage. And I like to think that the third time is the charm. We're going to hit the home run. The bases are loaded. It's time to do this.
Right. Got a couple of photos of the show. Tony, can you show the first one? There you go. Ooh, there you are. That's you.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
Looking GOOD, as we call it. Looking good.
Thank you. Martini in hand, of course.
Oh, yes. There's another photo. Different photo. Nice outfit.
Thank you. That's her costume from Earthquake.
And the actual
not the actual costume.
Okay.
It's and there she has cigarette in hand, which is also very much Ava Gardner.
A trademark, indeed. Indeed. There's a contrast because of the beauty and the work that they did between Ava Gardner and Marilyn Monroe. What do you think?
I'm always a little bit disappointed for Ava Gardner. I think the iconic status of Marilyn Monroe often blinds us to the other great movie sirens that are out there. I don't know that Ava Gardner would have liked her face plastered on T-shirts and things like that. I don't think she would have liked a million movies made about her with a lot of misconceptions about who she was.
Yes.
But I think her legacy could be forgotten if people stop talking about her. She was more than just a pretty face. She had a lot of soul.
Okay. You're going to be at the White Fire Theater, 13500 Ventura Boulevard, Sherman Oaks, California, 91423.
Yes.
There's a picture of the show. 818-687-8559. Telephone number?
Yes.
Or www.whitefiretheater.com for information.
Yes.
Give us those dates again, please.
We'll be opening on Sunday, January 15th at 2 p.m. and we'll play for 8 consecutive Sunday matinees running through March the 5th.
Wow.
So,
ladies and gentlemen, come on down and see what she's got to put out. Indeed.
Yes, do.
Alessandra, thank you so much for being with us today. Best wishes on your Ava Gardner project, and want to thank publicist Lucy Pollock for the great work she always does in getting us talent. What can I say?
Thank you. Thank you so much, Ron.
My pleasure. Ladies and gentlemen, Alessandra Assaf. This is the Actor's Choice. I'm your host, Ron Brewington. Roll it, Tony. Ladies and gentlemen, for more information about the TAC Roku channel, please call us at 213-349-3941. That's 213-349-3941. Thank you. Roll it, Tony.
Comedian and host of In the Cut, P.D. Freeman.
He's a complicated man, but no one understands him but his woman, John. Every black man in America wants to be Shaft. Barack Obama wants to be Shaft. That girl's fine. She's like a big old black Barbie doll. And I was like, she's fine right now. She's fine with 100 more pounds on it. That girl is fine.
Ladies and gentlemen, our next guest today has quickly become one of the most recognized faces in pop culture entertainment on television. It says a lot when you see all the comedians in the world today. But he stays busy, as you will hear in the next few minutes. Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, please welcome host, personality, comedian, B.D. Freeman.
How you doing?
Thank you.
Hey,
doing fine, sir.
Good morning.
I like that head you got. And
see how I figured out the sound that right at the last second? It was like watching an Avengers movie, wasn't it? You didn't know what was going to happen, which way it was going to go. But right at the last second, I got it.
Got you. B.D., where you from?
Believe it or not, I'm from a little town called Racine in Wisconsin.
Yes.
It's about a rock's throw from Milwaukee and about a rock's kick from Chicago.
A lot of famous people came out of there, haven't they?
Oh, yeah. A lot of famous, funny people. John Belushi came out of there, Bill Murray.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, all the cats that studied at Second City or Improv Olympic, and people who studied in theater like I did.
Yes.
Chris Farley came out of there. He's from Wisconsin, another Wisconsin guy. Yeah, a lot of people.
Freeman came out of there too.
Yeah, man. Well,
if you talk to him the next time you see him, tell him I said hi, please.
Oh, you betcha. He's a pretty guy. He's a pretty busy guy to get a hold of, but I'll do what I can.
I see. Gotta ask these questions because you're a comedian. What would we do without comedy? Can you imagine living in a world without comedy?
Yeah, I can, because I can imagine living in a world without music. If there was no music, because comedy is always going in my head, so that's a harder thing for me not to be able to vision. But music, yeah, man, the absence of music, it would be devastating. It would kill us as a people in the same way that the loss of comedy would.
Got you. So where do you get your material from?
Everything that happens in my life, I have a journal. I write everything down, and that's where I pull from. On my late night show, we don't use any teleprompters. We don't use any cards or anything like that. Everything completely comes out of my journal of what happens to me daily, because there's so many people doing political humor right now that, and political humor has never really been my thing. Mine has been political, but political in dealing with people, how people deal with and don't deal with each other.
Got you. So I won't bring up the Will Smith situation.
Yeah, you can bring it up. You bring anything up at all, man. Anything you want.
So what about the Will Smith situation?
It's tragic. It's sad that it happened. I'm glad it's over. Seems like everything is settling down.
Yeah, he's got a new movie out.
Yeah, and I'm sure I will go see it. I wouldn't want somebody to judge me for one crappy thing I did, because if a camera was following me around, you'd have lots of crappy things that I do, brother. There's a lot of crappy stuff that I do. So I wouldn't want that caught on camera, but it wasn't really caught on camera, was it? I mean, it was everybody knew what was going on. It's only the biggest award show in the world. And to see a black man get up and hit another black man, strike another black man in front of the world was just, it was pretty terrible, because not only I felt anyway, not only for black people, but for comedians. Now are people going to think that if they don't like something, they're already writing you that they don't like something that you said, you're getting fan mail and then you're getting even mixed up in the fan mail. Well, I don't like that you did this or that you said that, but I like you so much, all the other things you say. And then you get some people who are just angry and writing you, telling you everything that they can't stand. But that was one level, and people even doing it like on their pages or whatever is another level, because you can never, those snipers, you don't know where they're coming from and you can't really hit back. And if you do try to, you're going to go to cuckoo land, because there's no way to be able to fight against a bunch of people who just don't like you. They don't like you. That's their right, but people just getting up out of the audience because they don't like a joke and getting up on stage to take a swing at you. Nah, that can't happen.
When you go to the Academy Awards, it's going to be that way. You know that going in.
Yeah, you know, all the cameras in the world are there,
Right.
you know.
If you got
But it
that
was
stuff.
just a really terrible decision.
Got you.
You know, in the moment is what I think, and it happened in front. It's tragic that it happened in front of a billion people, but you know, I mean, it's never about how it is that you fell down. It's all about getting back up, and now what are you gonna do?
Got you.
You know, so people can take faith and get good, you know, get a good idea of maybe how they can handle their problems that come out into the open, by not how they fell down, but once they get up, what they're going to do.
Okay. Now, BD, I was doing my research, and you said, quote, every black man in America wants to be Shaft.
Yes.
Can you qualify that, sir?
Well, you know, like I'm
a black man. I'm trying to qualify this one.
my dad was a police officer, and he had that shaft look and that shaft suave and whatnot, you know. And it's just that Shaft did what he wanted to do, you know, like he didn't let anything stand in the way of it. And, you know, he went where he wanted to go. He did what he wanted to do, and his word was law. Who doesn't want to be that guy?
Right. And he's had 3 movies on the same subject. Can't complain.
Yeah, he can't complain.
Right.
Shaft even went back to Africa.
Yes,
you been back to Africa? Have you been back to Africa?
Yeah.
Let's see. Now, I've been over there, but so briefly that I can't say I've really been there. You know?
Gotcha.
I've just been there for a second. You know, do a show quick, get back on a plane, go somewhere else, you know, so not till I'm walking around in the land and meeting the people, then I can say I've been there.
Been there. BD, as a comedian, what's funny and what's not funny?
Well, you know, I've been talking a lot about that lately, in interviews and just with friends. You know, we've been having a lot of talks about comedy itself and what is funny and what is not funny, you know. And I could go on forever. I'm a windbag, of course, so I could go on forever about what I think is funny or not funny. But in the end, I think I have to err on the side of or rather, was it George Burns? I believe it was George Burns. It may have been Jack Benny, but I believe it was George Burns who said that when he was asked what's funny, what's not funny, he said, well, if you laugh at it, then it's funny. So, you know, I guess that's the key. If you laugh, it's funny.
Yeah. True. Who are some of the comedians that you look up to?
Well, you know, that's a tough question. I think for any honest comedian, it's a really tough question because we usually don't really pay a lot of attention to other comedians who are that we're sort of competing against, you know. And some people might take issue with me saying competing against, but there's only so many jobs out there and there's so many people trying to get them, so it is a competition, you know. And so we don't really pay that much attention to each other, more like where someone's working or what somebody is doing. We pay attention to that, but not attention to their stand-up. The only person I know that a lot of people pay attention to their stand-up is Dave Chappelle. Okay. People pay attention to that because he just makes you want to go home and rip up everything that you've ever written and start from the beginning and try to be more like him, you know. But I would say that my heroes, I think are like most comedians. Most of my heroes are dead. Yeah, you know, like so it's like Richard Pryor. Yeah. You know. Yeah. I'm not gonna go into the obvious what's good and what's bad about Bill Cosby, but I mean, because it's just too obvious. But comedy wise, yeah, that's the hero. You know, Sam Kinison. Yep. George Carlin. Yep. Man, there's so many. that I meet. And then there's comedians that are coming up right now who I see them and I'm like, man, they're great, and it doesn't make me a fan. It just makes me glad to be in the fraternity of comedians, when you see other people going up and doing something different. Right. See, that was a short answer and a really long question. I told you I'm a windbag.
Doing fine, no problem. The year was 2004 to 2005. You did a TV series called Mad TV. Remember that?
I do. Yeah. I did about enough to let me know what the deal is about doing television. I didn't get a lot of big things. There was a whole thing going on that I've never talked about. One day I'll talk about it. But yeah, it was what it was. It was it was my first big job, so it was a really good introduction to television, but it didn't turn into the flower that I wanted it to be. So, but it was a good education. It was a really good education.
Got you. 2 episodes wasn't bad. You hit it and quit it, out the door.
Oh no, I did far more than 2 episodes. That's just what I have no idea. I just know it was far more than 2. It was just that on IMDb, I'm lazy, man. And you got to add stuff. Yeah. Either the show adds it or you add it. And if the show's people are also lazy, maybe they won't. They're going to add all the main people, but people who are doing something, who are doing smaller parts and everything may not get the shine. So you got to take care of that yourself. And sometimes I'm just too lazy to do it. And now it's gone by so far. I'm like, who cares?
Right. Got a couple of things before we run out of time. You have an upcoming 3rd season coming up?
Yeah, of the B.D. Freeman Show.
Yeah.
We got 5 more episodes before the end of season 2. And then I'm contemplating an offer to go over to New Zealand and tour for 2 months. And if I don't do that, then I will try and probably fail, but I'll try to take vacation time. I'm really, really bad with free time. Okay. I'm terrible with it. I like to work. It gives my day structure, but without it, it just feels like, I'm a comic, so there's a certain amount of neuroses running through my head constantly. And I get really neurotic and I get really like, nothing's happening for me and I'm not doing anything. I'm failing as a man, as a comedian, as a human being. I suck and I'm terrible. And then it's time to go to work and I'm like, yeah, I'm the greatest in the world. It's a problem.
Got you. We just happen to have a clip of one of your shows. Roll it, Tony.
Uh-oh.
Tell me about your time on Fame. Like, what was it like?
Oh, well, my God, that was life-changing for me. Of all the shows I could have done in my life. Well, I always say that there are certain roles that meet you where you are in your life at the same time. Yeah. And those are really extraordinary experiences, and Fame was one of them. Yeah. Because, it was all about the High School of Performing Arts and people wanting to get into the industry and
Nia Peoples had a good time.
Yeah, man. I had a real good time. I had to, she's a friend and we've been friends for a long time. So sometimes I'm a little bit more hesitant to like really, really, let BD loose on my friends. So I tried to like keep it more to her walkabout and whatnot. But most of the shows are pretty crazy. And then you have somebody. I mean, that you have your own show, so it's like there's a rhythm to some, where with some people, you got to sort of be in this rhythm of professionalism, and then there's other people that you just you're still professional, but you're just ripping it up with, But I loved Nia being on the show. We'll have her back again.
Good, like we're gonna have you back again. Indeed.
Oh, well, thank you. It's sweet of you to say that, but I know I'll never be back.
Yes, you will. Your publicist is a dear friend of
nothing
mine.
fantastic on this show tonight, except I'm so terrible in the morning. When they told me, they were like, your interview is at 11:35 a.m. I'm like, I'm not funny then. I'm not funny at 11:35 a.m.
You see me laughing, right? You see me laughing.
Yeah, but you're a professional. Oh. You know how to do it. You've got that whole Barack Obama, Malcolm X smile.
Yes.
You've got all that going for you.
Got you.
Me, all I got is the morning where I'm not funny.
By the way, BD, before you leave behind me, you see some stars up there. I help people get a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. Let me know if you want to do that, when you're ready to do that.
Yeah, man, I'm always ready to do something. I'd want to do some more things to feel like I really earned it, maybe after the special or we're been submitted for a Webby, the Webb Emmys.
Got you.
So, maybe if I win or do really well in that, yeah, I will definitely want to talk about. But I'm always afraid of getting ahead of myself.
That's all
right. You know
right.
what I mean? Because after you get that star on the Walk of Fame, it's like, I mean, the way that I do things, I spend a lot of time dreaming about succeeding, and then when I succeed, it's like, okay, well, what's next?
Gotcha.
So it's always got to be an upward climb. It's about the climb. So if I get a star on the Walk of Fame, it's like, well, what is there next? What is there next to do? So I want to do something great, so I feel like I deserve it. And then after that, yeah, but I'm absolutely interested. Absolutely.
All right, sir. I want to thank you for being here today. I wish we had more time. I'll see you at another time. Trust me, we'll have you at another time. And please thank your publicist, Monica Alexander. Her and I go back a long, long ways. Indeed.
Oh, yeah. Monica is great. She really gets on it. She really takes care of her clients.
Right.
And so, I'm thankful for her setting this up, and I'm thankful for you guys having me. Thank you very much.
Take care, BD.
All right.
We thank our sponsors, Harvey Brandman, Photography is an Art, Ron Irwin's Lose Life the Way to Lose Weight, Larry Buford's book To the Future, Time Travel, Message in a Capsule, State Farm agent Carla Green, and veteran actor Rob Brownstein's Actors Training School and Actors Space. Much thanks to our guest today, actor-producer Jamila Webb, actress Alessandra Assaf, and comedian host personality BD Freeman. And of course, special thanks to our ever-growing audience. Be well. We'll see you next time.